Hello YouTube, it's Queen Pam Elon QP here, and I'm recording a video for the collaboration for planners and art journals. And this was chosen by Muriel, I believe. And we are to use olive green. I don't have many greens. Olive green, turquoise, and magenta. For some reason, my brain today is color challenged. And so I've just picked turquoise I have because it's clearly called turquoise. These are some homemade sprays. This is light green, which is going to have to pass for my olive, and scarlet for my magenta. And I'm just going to start by spraying over. This is a stencil by Tracy Bautista. And we were also to use a texture spray, but I want to get some background down. And I want to dry the background before I move on to the next color. So I'm getting my heat gun, and this one is not so loud, so I'm going to more than likely have to edit some of this out. But for right now, I'm going to record everything because you just never know, you might get a happy accident. Off camera, I am patting the excess of what's on the stencil off on another piece of paper. These were made with some Easter egg dye and some vinegar. I don't know how permanent they are. I haven't used them in a while. So I'm going to clean this off a little better. Yeah, with a baby wipe. Just lay it a little different. Do some scarlet, see what happens. See if I hate it. If I do, I can always gesso over it because it is just paper. It's just paper. Pick some of that. Well, it actually took the stencil with it. Let's see what I got there. I'm going to clear it off. It's making a little mud, so even though it was dry, since these are really not very permanent, that's okay. We will work it out with our next layer, which will be paint, and not these. One more go around. Go this way with the turquoise. Actually, that's not too bad. I don't hate it. I'm going to dry it. Do some blotting, speed up some of the drying time. I'm going to take my little jelly plate and use it like a stamp with some paint. I'm reaching under for my little brayer. My little brayer is my favorite brayer. I keep it on my desk. I'm going to use the same stencil because I like it. And I'm going to start with magenta. Pull it up, lay it over on that other piece of paper, pick this up, and apply it. Voila. And rinse, repeat. Put another color. I'm going to stay with that color and get a whole good layer of that on. My husband is coming to the room. He's doing laundry. Say hi.
Hello.
There you go. And then pull it off. Apply it. Why not? Get a different look when you do it that way. Not quite as, but an interesting mark nevertheless. Then this one, a little bit there, a little bit there. If there's any left over here. Up here. So we've got some magenta going on. And here's some left. We're just going to hit it. See if we can pull any up. If we can. The same. And then we get some different marks from pulling up through the paint that's still wet. I like it so far. Don't know if I said that to you, but I don't really care for green. but I do care for turquoise. And this is the green-blue version of turquoise, but we're going to go with some Paper Artsy. This is 10 Ps. It's opaque, so I know that it will cover over. And I think, no, I'm still going to use the jelly plate. And get a different piece of the stencil. And I'm going to mist that with water. This is the mister I'm using. It gives a really nice fine mist. Bring my plate back in. My journal page back in. This is a Strathmore. And that, I'm going to dry that because it gave a little bit of a watercolory look to it. I definitely see some gesso in this page's future. Because like I said, I'm not a lover of green. I do love this color. For some reason, my brayer does not wish to spin. I'm going to have to get out. Now we're spinning. And here's where we are. Let's see. I don't know. I do think I want some extra heavy gesso with this on it. So get my extra heavy gesso. Well, I couldn't find the extra heavy, so I found the U-Trek, and I'm going to apply that with a palette knife. Not a palette knife. I want a very light bit of texture, so I'm going to use a scraper thing, which will fit in there, so that's good. Oh, I'm so sorry you can't see it. Let's go all the way back up so you can see what I'm doing. There are other people playing along with this collaboration. You can find their names in the description box below. And I do hope that you will go and visit their channels and watch their videos, because I'm oh so certain, even though I haven't seen anybody's take on it yet, I know there's going to be differences because we're different people. I think that's enough of the gesso for now. Put the lid on it and dry this up. I think it's all right. We'll see. That's just a little, our first layers. Actually, I guess it's more than my first layer. And a little more of that. There's a lot of magenta showing, so add in more green, because I don't really like green. Okay, what now? More spray, why not? Gonna get my modeling paste. And I have another stencil that is 12 by 12 by Rebecca Meyer, and it is the flower grid. And I'm going to put my modeling paste on through it. There that is. And I like that. Gonna get the rest of it off on another piece of paper, on that scrap piece of paper that I showed you guys earlier. That's what you hear me doing off to the side. I'm just applying whatever might come off the top of the stencil onto another piece of paper to have another start for another piece of art. I'm going to put the stencil in some water. It may be loud, and I'm going to turn off the sound because I know it's loud. got that cleaned off, and what I said before I remembered to turn the mic on is you got to clean it off your stencil, or else it could clog up little tiny parts and then you won't be able to see them. That's not good. So I'm going to let this dry and then come back. So I will do a voice. Well, I had the sound off for that part. I apologize. I wanted it to be really white, and so I laid the stencil back down and gessoed over it. Now I have to dry it. And I want it to be really dry because I want to put some matte medium over the top of it to seal everything, even the stuff that's not paint, the sprays mostly. So I will come back once this is dry. Decided to paint out around it before I matte medium it. I'm going to thank Muriel for I think it's Muriel. I'm not actually looking at it right now for this challenge. Definitely stretched me because it was not colors I would have chosen for myself. I think that's the point of joining the challenges sometimes. You get to step out of what you would normally do, and I think that's a good thing. So I encourage all of you, even if you don't want to film it, to maybe take a challenge and let it pull you out of your comfort zone. It might be a good thing maybe to do when you're stuck in a rut or not sure what to do. Might be a good thing. Now, I want to pull some of that back, especially where you can see I've got some texture outside the circle, but not all of it. You can see got some texture down there and some texture up here that I'm going to try and re-expose. Maybe do a little more up here lifting if I can. Sorry for the shaky desk noise. Yep, there, there. A little more there. I think that's that. And now I need to make sure that's good and dry, because what I want to do is a wash over that. So I'm going to stop the recording and let that dry. I'm going to take this black and a little bit of airbrush medium. to make my wash. We don't know whether this will work, but we are trying it. Ah, you're messing it all up. Hey, you're messing it all up. I did? Oh well. Get a clean baby wipe. I had to see if I had messed it all up. But I have not. And so I will dry this. And I think I want to do another one. Okay, so I'm going to put a little more black out. A little more airbrush me. And do it again. Clear that up. And I think, except for maybe a little doodling along the outside, would call this baby done. But I'm going to dry it because I don't want to ruin any paint pens doodling without this being dry. So I've got gesso texture in through here. Gesso texture here. And then another level of texture with the modeling paste. Bring you up closer so you can see that. I'm going to grab a paint pen or two or three. And see what we get. I think we have lost, no, it was turquoise. I think we have lost a lot of the turquoise. I'm going to try a turquoise paint pen and see if I get anything. That's how it's showing up, and I do like it. So I'm going to continue. Just sort of giving the flower petals some definition. And letting that turquoise come back. And I'm not trying to be very, very 100% precise. I'm just kind of lightly letting the paint pen ride along the outside of the texture. And do some free form line work because my hand slipped. Since my hand slipped, we're just going to make it intentional. And we did it with turquoise. Let's find something not quite magenta, but I think it'll be fun. Let's go back out so I don't have to worry about whether you can see me, because I definitely was off camera for some of that. And an olive green. I'm sure there's an olive green that would look pretty. Oh, your chocolate. I'm not going to do chocolate, but I think a gold. So reaching around. Gotta get my gold pen going. Well, that's not working. And that's it. I'm going to call it done. So again, I encourage you to visit the other collaborators and see how they interpreted turquoise, olive, and magenta in texture paste. So as always, I leave you in the hands of the creator. Bye-bye.